Spaced repetition is a learning technique that involves revisiting information at increasing intervals. This technique is effective because it allows the brain to consolidate and strengthen memories over time. When studying with spaced repetition, learners review material at specific intervals, starting with shorter intervals and gradually lengthening them as they become more confident in their knowledge. This approach ensures that learners retain information over the long term. Active recall is a learning technique that involves retrieving information from memory rather than simply reviewing notes or textbooks. This technique is effective because it strengthens neural connections in the brain and helps learners better understand and remember information. To practice active recall, learners can use flashcards, quizzes, or other methods that require them to retrieve information from memory. By doing so, they are able to identify gaps in their knowledge and focus on areas that require further study. Interleaving is a learning technique that involves mixing up different topics or skills during study sessions. This technique is effective because it forces learners to switch between different types of information, which enhances their ability to apply knowledge in new and varied contexts. To practice interleaving, learners can alternate between different subjects or types of problems during study sessions. This approach challenges the brain to make connections between seemingly unrelated concepts, leading to deeper understanding and improved retention. Elaboration is a learning technique that involves relating new information to existing knowledge. This technique is effective because it helps learners make connections between different concepts and deepen their understanding of the material. To practice elaboration, learners can ask themselves questions about how new information relates to what they already know, or create visual representations that illustrate connections between different concepts. By doing so, they are able to better retain and apply new information. Dual coding is a learning technique that involves combining visual and verbal information during study sessions. This technique is effective because it engages multiple areas of the brain and helps learners form stronger connections between different types of information. To practice dual coding, learners can use diagrams, images, or other visual aids to supplement written or spoken information. This approach helps learners better understand complex concepts and remember information over the long term. Reflection is a learning technique that involves thinking about one's own learning processes and identifying areas for improvement. This technique is effective because it helps learners become more self-aware and develop strategies that work best for them. To practice reflection, learners can keep a journal or regularly set aside time to think about their learning experiences. By doing so, they are able to identify what works well for them and make adjustments as needed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.